morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks, wherever you are, whenever you might be watching my video. Today I'm going to show you how to make low carb stuffing or low carb dressing using my low carb bread recipe, which I got from Diet Plan 101. At the end of this video is a little shorty video that I made how to make this bread, but in the description is the link to my original recipe where I made this bread. At the end of this video, I kind of goofed up. I don't know what happened to my video. Didn't press record at the right time or whatever the case might be. But anyway, here we go. So we need one whole loaf of my low carb bread. Now in here, I'm getting ready to chop up in my food processor. I've got 3 stalks of celery and 3 green onions, whites and green. And I want to chop that up, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, here is my onions and my celery in the pan. I added a half a stick of butter, and I'm going to saute these until they get soft and just a wee bit of color on them. As good as this smells, it looks a little dry. So I'm going to add the other half of the stick of butter. Okay, y'all, we've got a little bit of color going on there, but we've got it good and soft. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of my Knorr chicken bouillon. So that's 1 teaspoon of bouillon. And there I've added 1 teaspoon of my Watkins ground sage. So that was 1 teaspoon of sage. Now this is not in the recipe, and I'm not counting it, but gotta have me some garlic in there. Gosh, got to. No salt, because the chicken bouillon has salt, but we will add a touch of pepper. There we go. So now I am going to add this to my breadcrumbs, and then to help get all the good stuff out of this pot here, I'm going to add 1/2 cup water. Now let me stir that around a little bit to make sure I get all the goody stuff. And we're going to put that over the breadcrumbs. Now I'm going to stir the breadcrumbs and see where we're at. Now for me, that looks a little dry. So I'm going to add some more water. And that's about another 1/2 cup. So let me stir this up. So now let's see where we're at as far as flavor. I think it needs more sage. I'm going to add a teaspoon more sage. So there's that teaspoon of sage. Now I'm going to stir it up real good. Okay, y'all, I got that good mixed up. We're going to let it set for about 10 minutes to see what it does. How much does it need? More water? Maybe it needs a little salt. So we're going to let it set here for about 10 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, y'all, here is where you need to taste this. How are you going to use this stuffing? Are you going to stuff a chicken breast? Are you going to cook it in a pan? I'm going to cook mine in a pan with tin foil over the top. Do you like your stuffing more soupy? Do you like your stuffing more dry? Are you going to put some kind of sauce or something over it? For me, I'm going to add more water. I'm going to add just a touch more sage. I'm going to add a touch more chicken bouillon. And I'm going to mix it up real good. Okay. This is where I want it. I think this is good. So I'm going to put it in my pan. Okay, I've got it sealed real good tight with some foil. I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 1 hour. So I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, y'all. Let's see what it looks like. It's been an hour. Let me get this. Ooh, yeah. Yes, sirree, Bob. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Look how that's steaming. So let's take a taste. Ooh, I don't know, that maybe I maybe should wait till it cools off a little bit. Can you see that steam? Here. Yeah, look at that steam. Ooh. Just a second, y'all. I'm blowing it. I want it to cool off. I don't want to burn my tongue. Oh, yes. Y'all, if you've been missing stuffing, dressing, whatever you want to call it, because of the carbs, you need to try this. You can stuff chicken breasts with this. You can make roll-ups with your chicken breasts, whatever you want to do. Stuff this in with your turkey. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and it's moist, y'all. It's moist. I would pinch it with my fingers to show you how moist it is, but it'll burn me. But yeah. Oh. Mmm. Yes, sirree, is good. Now, you saw how I did my celery and my onions, because that's the way I like my celery and my onions. Maybe you don't like onions, don't put onions in there. Maybe you like chunky onions. Chunkier onions. Okay, y'all, just a second here. Okay. The whole number of, let me hold this up where you can see it better. The whole loaf of the low carb bread, the way I made it, was 42 grams of carbs. I used half a cup of chopped onions, which is 1.5 grams carb. 3 stalks of celery, which is 2 carbs. 1 teaspoon Knorr chicken bouillon. Well, you saw me tweak that so we can add an extra carb there and we can say it's 1 carb. I used a teaspoon, I actually used 2 teaspoons of the sage, so we can say that's going to be 2 carbs. And I used a whole stick of butter, which that's no carbs. So let's just say that that whole thing right there is 50 grams of carbs. I am sure you can get 5 servings out of there. That makes it 10 carbs per serving. 5 servings out of this. Oh shoot, you can get more than that. Oh y'all, I am looking forward to stuffing this inside a chicken, flatten out a chicken breast and roll it up in there. Perfect. So there you go, y'all. 10 carbs per serving. There you go. Now, coming up here is going to be my goofy video on making the bread. But I will also put a link in the description to my original recipe where I made the bread. And I got the original recipe from Diet Plan 101. So, thanks y'all for watching. let me put this in a bowl, what I think would be, this is 5 servings, so let me put in a bowl what I think is a serving, and I'm going to take pictures, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching, and enjoy that low carb, enjoy your low carb Thanksgiving dinner or Sunday night meal. Thanks for watching. Bye. Look, y'all. Look how much is on this plate. This is a big spoon. Look how much is on this plate. I didn't even make a dent. Ooh, y'all, you can pig out. Bye. Today I'm going to show you an easy peasy recipe for low carb sandwich bread. I don't know what happened to my video, but it got ate up. I am showing you today a low carb sandwich bread. I'm going to mix it in my bread machine. I'm going to mix it in the bread machine, but I'm going to bake it in the oven. I already went over the ingredients, but I'll do it again because I don't know what happened to the video. But in the bread pan, I have 1/2 cup ground flaxseed, 3 tablespoons soy flour, 3 tablespoons coconut flour, 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of Vidal wheat gluten, 2 1/4 teaspoons instant yeast, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 5 teaspoons of Splenda, 3/4 cup water, 2 eggs, and 1 1/2 tablespoons of oil. Now that's already in my bread machine. Y'all, I had it out here and I don't know what happened to the video. But this bread, the whole loaf has only 42 carbs. This is a sandwich bread. The whole loaf has only 42 carbs. Each slice has 3.5 carbs. So we're going to mix it in the bread machine, and y'all, everything I'm doing, you can do this by hand. You don't need a bread machine. But I'm going to mix it in the bread machine, and then we're going to bake it in the oven. So just a sec. So here we go. For my bread machine, I'm putting it on cycle 8, which is dough. And we'll be back in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And like I said, y'all, you do not need a bread machine to do this. You can do this all by hand. I cannot knead bread by hand, so I'm doing it in my bread machine. So we'll be back in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, time is up, y'all. Well, I got 7 minutes. But I'm going to hit stop and start. And I'm letting the bread machine do the punch down. Okay, so I've got it shaped to my pan here. I'm going to put it in my oven with the oven light on. I'm going to let it proof, do its last proofing. Then I'm going to bake it at 375 degrees for 30 minutes. And I'll bring you back when the bread is done and ready to be sliced.